From the local station, this is Weather Authority Weekday.
Hello and happy Thursday. Yes, it's not Friday. It's only Thursday. We've been like, is it today Thursday? Today Friday. And it's Thursday, and yay, we're not going to add an extra day to our week. Good morning. I am meteorologist Michelle McCormick. Good to be with you on the Weather Authority Weekday show. And we got a lot of fun stuff to talk about today. So I hope you're ready to learn about some really cool weather stuff and to hear your full forecast, which we're going to do first. So wow, what a morning. We started out foggy this morning, but not as foggy as yesterday. So we're going to talk a little bit about fog in just a minute, but let's take a look outside at what's happening right here at the airport. And, you know, we had some clearer skies earlier. We have some clouds pulling through right now, but overall, these mid-level clouds, there's nothing in them that's going to drop any moisture on us. It's a little bit humid out there as well, down to 60%. Winds are out of the south, bringing in some of these clouds and this warm weather. My goodness, I'm telling you what, 30 minutes ago when I was just on Melanie's show talking about the weather forecast, it was 76 degrees and we're up to 79 degrees. So our average high for today is 72. And we're already feeling like 80 degrees out there. Our high yesterday was 80 degrees. So a beautiful shot here. We were a little socked in out at the beaches for a while with some sea fog this morning. That all burned off by about 9 o'clock. It's 73 degrees out here at the Morningstar Marina in Mayport. And the flag is giving a little bit of a wave from the east-southeast at 8. Also this morning, there was a moderate rip current risk in the beaches of southeast Georgia and Duval and Nassau County. Well, they've increased at the Duval County, Nassau County, added it to St. Johns County and Flagler County for a high rip current risk. So dangerous conditions in the beach. You can see the waves look a little choppy today. Off sea, they're about 5 to 6 feet. So winds are out of the southeast, 10 to 15 knots for boaters on the waterways today, and a little hazy still, but lots of people here at the beach in St. Augustine at the Guy Harvey Resort. My goodness, what are they? People are like setting up shop. It's not spring break yet.
It's nice out.
It's really nice out, and those people are really enjoying it. But water, very dangerous. Stay on the sand. All right, here's those temperatures across the area. Wow. I mean, we are knocking on the door of 80 through Gainesville, McClenny, Jacksonville, even in Green Cove, Palatka, even mid to upper 70s in southeast Georgia. So in Gainesville, the record high for today, I believe set in 1997. I was going to look and I didn't get an opportunity to, but the record for today is 87. Now the record in Jacksonville is also 87. But we're only looking to stay in the low 80s. I say only in the low 80s, but look at the difference from this time yesterday to where we are right now. We are 11 degrees warmer through Orange Park, 9 degrees warmer in McClenny, 13 degrees warmer than we were this time yesterday in Waycross, and 16 degrees warmer in Palatka. And when you factor in the dry conditions that we're having and these warming temperatures, you know, burning is a big no-no across our entire area. We still are in an extreme drought, and with temperatures like these and with these drought conditions, it will easily spark some wildfires. And check out these winds. I mean, these are sustained winds, 12 at the beach, 11 at the airport, and factor in some of the gusts too. You know, our gusts are 15 to 20 as well. All right, so cloud and radar forecast shaping up like this. We have some directional arrows here to kind of give you an indicator of the winds. The red arrows moving in from the south and from the east, that's bringing in some of the clouds and some of the moisture. And then along the beach, we have a nice sea breeze. You can see it here at noon. See that line of clouds all the way from Brunswick down to Palm Coast. That sea breeze kicking those clouds inland. And then what's going to happen throughout the day is this. That sea breeze will really overpower the southeasterly winds and push out to I-75, where it's going to meet up with the west coast sea breeze. And we have the opportunity for some showers, which we'll take all the showers we can get, right? Because we have an extreme drought right now. So this could happen later on this afternoon. This is about 6:45, right around sunset-ish. And we could see some isolated thunderstorms with this as well along the I-75 corridor. The majority of people, no, they're going to stay dry. It's going to be breezy out of the east at some point. It's going to feel quite nice, and it's going to warm up. So tomorrow we're not showing any signs of any rain whatsoever, maybe a stray shower here or there with the sea breeze convergence and the warm temperatures rising. And over the next several days, our temperatures just increase. There's a frontal system. If you look at the upper left-hand side of your screen, that frontal system is going to be kind of coming through and could bring us some rain opportunities later on into the weekend, beginning of next week. But honestly, we are in a dry pattern. We've been in a dry pattern. The dry pattern's affecting our allergies. It's affecting our grass and affecting our lawn and our plants. And we just want our pretty yards back after the 1st of February freeze. Everything, just is still brown. I think with good confidence that we're not going to get cold enough and I keep saying to my husband, we got to cut it back. We got to cut it back. It's so ugly. Let's get rid of this. But don't burn it. Rake it all up. Put it in your garbage bags for your lawn disposal and put it out for the lawn guys and gals to come pick up. That's what they're there for. They pick up at my house on Wednesdays. Anyway, 83 degrees for our high today and then dropping into the mid 70s. So here's a look at those high temperatures today. And we're already at 79 degrees. 87 in Gainesville. That would tie a record. And in Jacksonville, we're at 83. We could bump up a little more. We're already at 79 and it's not even noon. So temperatures at the beaches already 73. We could bump that up probably a couple degrees as well, depending on that sea breeze kicking in. And then temperatures across the state looking like this. Orlando at 84 today. Fort Myers and Tampa both at 87 on the Gulf side. 80 in Miami, 81 in the Keys. So overall, really warm weather for the beginning of March in the state of Florida. Tonight, temperatures dropping into the upper 60s. And then tomorrow morning, so this morning we started out like in mid 50s. Our average low should be around 48. So we're well above that right now. 61 for our low tomorrow with fog in the forecast. So let's go through the day and into the overnight hours and into tomorrow morning. Wow, man, it went right on by. It went to Saturday morning. That's not right. I wanted to show you Friday morning, so we're just going to skip on that. But we are expecting to have fog both Friday morning and Saturday morning, and then even into possibly Sunday morning. So let's talk a little bit about the fog formation and why are we having so much fog. Let's take it full screen because the words are kind of tiny. Caitlin, thank you so much. Daytime heat leaving the ground. So we have these really warm temperatures during the day, and heat rises, cold air sinks. So when it heats up our ground during the day, this is the setup. And then we have clear nights and light winds. Well, we had no wind this morning. I can tell you as a fact, I was here, no winds and a pretty clear night. Well, then what happens is overnight, that thin layer of moisture under the drier air and then the rising air from the surface passes quickly through this moist air. So this is a pretty good graphic, kind of giving you the idea that the warm, moist, that's the dew point, rising, meets up with the dry air, and then the warmer air, because we've been having warmer nights, not as cold as they could be, it replaces the cool air. So the cool air sinks, that comes in overnight. Ground's already warm, it's already rising, and the moist layer does not absorb much heat, and air near the surface cools quicker, and that is our fog formation. So as the moisture rises, the water turns into vapor and the fog forms. So I always say this is a cloud on the ground, and at times it can be very dense. Now add in all the water that we have in our area, the rivers, the retention ponds, the swamp, that just helps exacerbate with the moisture. So I hope that makes any sense to you folks. All right. I didn't explain it very well. Did I explain that okay? I think so. Okay, thank you. I appreciate you. All right, so here we have the Gate River Run forecast. Caitlin's running it. I am not running it, but tomorrow, Caitlin and I are going to have a discussion, and we're actually going to put a microphone on our producer, Caitlin, and make her talk about her run that she's preparing for the Gate River Run. We're going to talk about my past experiences with the Gate River Run. We're going to update this forecast if necessary for the Gate River Run, but with new parking this year, there's a new course this year with all the construction at the shipyards and at the stadium. The the team at First Place Sports has had to pivot a little bit and make up some new options. This year, the top of the Green Monster, the Heart Bridge, is really going to be kind of mile 8. Or mile 8.5 maybe. Used to be, no, I think it's going to be closer to mile 8 because the finish line has moved about a half mile away from where it used to be. So we're going to talk about that. We'll bring up the course for tomorrow. But the weather, we're going to talk about the weather. It's going to be warm. So if you were warm this morning at 8 o'clock, imagine what it's going to be like race morning with a couple of degrees warmer. And at 10:30 this morning, it was already 76 degrees. So this could go on record. I think Richard had said 74 degrees, and don't quote me on that, was one of the warmest ones. So one of the warmest Gate River runs. And we're going to watch that for you over the next couple of days. But you want to hydrate. You want to start hydrating now. You don't want to totally pound a lot of water and electrolytes tomorrow. Start now, taper off your runs, and run in, warm weather gear. You want to make sure that you are in warm weather gear. Check your socks. You don't want thermal socks. Your feet will burn up. That type of stuff. Go to the expo. There's a lot of great stuff at the expo. A lot of really seasoned people that can help with some advice on that as well. But those are the temperatures for the Gate River Run Saturday morning. And beginning right here at 7:30 on News4JAX Plus, we will be having live coverage of the entire event. So that's really exciting. Our sports team is amazing. All right. So here we have our next 7-day forecast for you, starting off with foggy conditions tomorrow morning as well. And then we'll have temperatures moving into the upper 80s by Sunday. Oh, we spring forward on Sunday as well. So 2 a.m. becomes 3 a.m. You know the drill. We'll be lighter later, but our nice lit up mornings will be darker for a little while before we start to make those days longer and longer and longer as we get closer to the summer solstice in June. But most people love this time of year and when we have lighter later days. All right, so that will wrap up your extended forecast. We're going to take a really quick break, but what a fun second half of the show we have for you. Coming up after the break, we're going to talk about that pesky pollen and the culprit behind it. We're also going to talk about the 100th retired storm name. So the hurricane names get retired under many different circumstances. We're going to go through that. But they also rotate every 6 years. And they will retire names such as Katrina and Andrew, and names that you're very familiar with being devastating storms. They just retired a new one, and this is a worldwide meteorological organization committee, just retired the most recent name, and we're going to tell you all about that when we come back. Weather Authority Weekday Show. Okay, allergies. Allergies, everybody, even people who aren't affected by allergies. I'm not allergic to anything, might feel the effects. We all see the effects, right? That yellow that lands on our cars and our sidewalks. Well, that's also landing on you, by the way, your clothes, your hair, your pets. We were just talking about our cats. So pollen pressure is real. And right now we're in the moderate range. And for oak and grass, oak trees are the biggest culprit. And right here in Northeast Florida, we are surrounded by oak trees and we've had nothing but dry conditions. We need rain to rinse off some of that pollen and make it kind of lessen. We're not in the high range, but we're in the moderate range. So your allergies are on alert. This is you're not making this up. When people say, oh, my allergies, yes, it's true. Your nose is runny. You cough, your throat's all froggy, and maybe you take a Zyrtec or an antihistamine or whatever it may be, whatever your brand of choice is. Even the pets, my dog sits there and scratches, and my cat scratches. And we were just talking about our cat sleeping on our pillows. And if your cat goes outdoors, maybe rolls around on the pool deck, guilty, or they don't go outdoors, like Caitlin was saying, her cat is an indoor cat. You're still bringing it in. It's coming in on your shoes. It's coming in on your clothing. It's coming in when you open your door. So these are some tips. Keep your windows closed. Change your clothes when you come in. Shower, rinse your hair. But the thing is this is a lot easier said than done sometimes. The symptoms are crazy, and they mostly will affect you early in the morning too. So just keep that in mind. And don't go outside and exercise if you have heightened allergies during pollen season. Now, oak is the primary offender right now, and that's from February through April. So when we say trees, we're really referring to oak. Pine is another culprit that really has to do with our allergies. The weather, windy and dry conditions, and we've had a lot of that lately. Very, 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 very little rain since September of last year. I mean, our even with the freezes that we've had, I had flowers blooming in January. So, we are definitely seeing this affecting us. Grasses are a big one as well. And again, stay indoors during peak times, which could be in the morning or in the late afternoon. So these are just a few of the pollen tips. And again, antihistamines will help you manage those. I've been having ridiculous headaches. People get sinus infections this time of year. It's truly for real. Okay, now let's talk about the 100th retired named storm. And they've been tracking named storms since 1954. And I actually went back and counted them all. So I'm going to get my little cheat sheets here. And we're going to talk about the most recently retired named storm is Category 5 Melissa. That was our last storm of 2025. The World Meteorological Organization's Hurricane Committee is responsible for retiring names. And Melissa, absolutely. We knew it when it happened that this name was going to be retired. 90 deaths across Jamaica, Haiti, and other island nations. This storm became a Category 5 very quickly. It hit land as a Category 5. Devastation through those island nations. And even effects felt as far north as Florida with the rip currents. So this storm was recently retired, like a couple days ago, and it is the 100th named storm that was retired from the WMO. So I did want to give you a couple little key points though that I found kind of interesting. They're replacing it with Molly, and Molly will be used in 2031. Now, hurricane names are revolve. They come back every 6 years. So like the group of names that we have coming up for 2026 was used 6 years ago. So sometimes the names seem really familiar, right? So the list of names in the communication of storm warnings and to help alert people about potential life-threatening risks, they alternate between male and female. They're intended to be easy to pronounce in every language in the region. Names are repeated every 6 years unless a storm is so deadly or destructive that its name is retired. And so here's a look ahead to the 2026 hurricane season names. Oh, and Caitlin, I went through the list of retired names and it is lengthy. I'm going to print this. I'm going to write an article about this and it should be posted in the next hour or so. And I'm going to list all the retired names. My name's on here. Michelle with 2 L's was retired in 2001. So I'm looking for your name and it has not. So Caitlin has not, but I'm taking a look at the names for 2026 and I can't lie about, so I got to tell you, Hannah, H-A-N-N-A. My daughter's name is Hannah, H-A-N-N-A-H. So we could possibly have a Hurricane Hannah in 2026. Leah, my youngest daughter's name is Leah, spelled that way. And Nana. Wow. Nana. That's what we call my mom.
All the names.
I took a look at this list and I was like, my daughters and my mom are on that list. We call my mom Nana, but her name is Lynn. But anyway, I saw those. I was like, oh, no, this can't be right. So anyway, this is just a peek at the 2026 names. Of course, hurricane season starts January 1st, but it's never too early to start preparing for hurricane season and be aware of all the preparation that goes into hurricane season. We need to be prepared year round for any type of evacuation, whether it's flooding, whether it's hurricane, whether it's fire. Just always have your prep kit ready to go. And then there's always a secondary list of names. This says the 2024 hurricane season on it, but these are like, if we get to W, if we get to Wilfred this year, they'll go into the second list of names. So that's how the hurricane season names start and end for 2026. All right, so another really interesting thing happened this week, and it was from the Storm Prediction Center. If you want to take that here, I'll tell you about I'll kind of talk about this video, and then we'll show it. The changes to the Storm Prediction Center day 1, 2, and 3 convection outlook probabilities, they updated it, and they supplied a video that kind of gives you a good background. Now, we use these when we're talking about marginal risk, when we talk about other risks. I can't think off the top of my head. Day 1, day 2, day 3. Anyway, he gives a really good update on this, and then I'll give you an update following.
Here at the Storm Prediction Center, we've made some changes to our severe weather outlooks in 2026. These changes will help you better understand the risk for your area. If you follow severe weather, you're probably familiar with these outlook categories: marginal, slight, enhanced, moderate, and high. The good news is, these risk levels are not changing. If you see a moderate risk today, it means the same thing as it did before. What is changing is the black hatching. For those that don't know, this is how we communicate the storm intensity, whether that means extreme straight-line winds, destructive hail, or catastrophic tornadoes.
Here's the problem. Under the old system, we only used hatching when the expected coverage of significant severe weather was high enough, usually 10% or more. And crucially, that hatching looked exactly the same whether we were expecting a strong EF2 tornado or a catastrophic EF5. You will see 3 new intensity levels. Level 1 means significant severe weather is possible. Level 2 signals a dangerous environment like intense tornadoes or extremely large hail. Level 3 is rare. It's reserved for historic outbreak level intensity, such as violent tornadoes or intense derechos. When no intensity area is present, we are communicating that the vast majority of severe weather is expected to be lower end severe. We can now show you this intensity risk without needing that old 10% coverage requirement.
Instead of telling you, yes, there is a risk, we can tell you the risk here is extreme. It separates the chance of seeing a storm from the power of that storm. It's a smarter way to be prepared and stay safe.
And the National Weather Service, of course, is always keeping us up to date and actually putting out better products for us to help explain to you what it's going to be like outside. So right now I have pulled up the severe risk. This is what it looks like from the Storm Prediction Center. These are what graphics that we use to help tell you what the risk is. And right now they're saying the risk is thunderstorm. It's not even marginal. And this is because along the I-75 corridor has the opportunity for some thunderstorm activity anywhere west of the river, it looks like, according to the SPC graphic here. There's that chance that thunderstorm activity could happen today. Then it goes marginal, and that's the darker green. Slight is when it's in yellow. Enhanced is orange, moderate is red, and high is in the purple. So these are just tools that we have that we're able to show you when we have severe weather coming our way. And we can go out several days with these as well. But right now it's just looking like we have a risk for thunderstorm activity to happen. All right, let's go back to the 7-day forecast one last time, give you a big update. Oh, this is the hourly forecast today as we move towards that 83-degree weather, and then temperatures tonight moving into the 60s for tomorrow morning. So looking for a high of 83 today and then 84 tomorrow, and we just hit increasingly warmer over the next several days, upper 80s, maybe even tapping into some 90s by Sunday into Monday. That would be hot. And that's why those chances of rain really start to increase as well, because that's where we start to see those afternoon thunderstorms start to fire off when we have the heat of the day converging with some sea breeze winds. We have that opportunity for thunderstorm activity. All right, folks. Well, thanks for tuning in to the Weather Authority Weekday Show. I will get up a story about those retired hurricane names, because you might want to see if your name's on there or not, of 100 listed since 1954. In the meantime, make it a great day, and we will update you again at noon. Have a great day.
See why every day more people are choosing News4JAX, Northeast Florida and South Georgia's #1 source for local news.